the awareness handout, go ahead and answer those questions. And then there's a kitchen audit at the end. We'll go over it when we start listing protein, carbs, and fats. That's just a great way to get you started on a healthier way of eating. Everybody had their snacks? Please get some sparkling water, all that.
Every line we're supposed to fill out, like why improve your health?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Totally.
so obviously.
I get why are you here? That's here, but I don't understand.
So no, so when you're reading that, it's like, what are some of the reasons that you think that you should be doing this? Like you yourself, why learn this information?
Yeah.
Why is this valuable?
What you hope to get out of it.
So we're obviously, once we dive into this, it's going to get deeper, but we want you guys to just come in with and start writing things to get the mindset of what you're hoping to kind of get out of this, and also to figure out what you think is valuable. So then after that, we'll be able to speak with you guys on what you guys are actually looking for.
Absolutely. All right, so the prescription for eating healthy is the same for everyone at any age, any health problem, and any goal. Eat meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some starch, little fruit, no sugar, and no seed oils. That's the prescription for health. So when diabetics come to the gym and they join the MetFix program, in 90 days they're not diabetic anymore because they focus on this way of eating, right? We'll address it now. Why does it say little fruit? Because fructose is sugar, and the body doesn't say, it's okay that you ate this entire pineapple, it's fruit. We're going to just keep burning fat and do all the things. It doesn't. Like sugar is sugar is sugar in the body, and especially for people in metabolic dysfunction, they have to really work hard to keep all of that out, to roll back the dysfunction, so that when they have a little bit of sugar, or they go out on a trip and they have the scoop of gelato or whatever it is, it doesn't throw them back into the disarray of metabolic dysfunction. So this is how we cut through all the influencer stuff online. It's like, you just have these sardines for 30 days, you're going to be healthy and fit and skinny the rest of your life. There's all these crazy things out there. If you just remember this, and you can write it down on your paper, this is what you focus on for eating. Okay? Awesome. Ty's going to take us through the really important part of reaching goals, sticking behind our whys, and that's like motivation and mindset. So we're going to talk about that too.
So the biggest thing when it comes to starting any type of plan is knowing why you're going to start this plan. Because yes, there is a time at the start, that first week or two, where you're super motivated. You're like, yes, I'm all on board. But obviously, as we know, life is like a farm in the sense of, just because you planted a seed doesn't mean you're going to get a crop within 2 weeks. And so what are you going to do, and what are you going to remind yourself once it gets tough? Once you want to go and have that drink, once you want to have that slice of chocolate cake. So that's why we always want to talk to you guys about, number one, prior to even beginning to implement any of these things, you need to ask yourself, why am I going to do this? And that why needs to be big enough to keep you disciplined when it gets tough. It needs to be something that you could tell yourself that, if I could get through this, I'm going to reach this goal. And it stops you from eating the things that you don't need. It gets you up on those days that you don't want to work out and show up here at the gym. So I'll kind of tell just a small part of my story, and then my why, so you guys could see. Because yes, you could use a smaller why at the start of, I want to look good for summer. But that's something that we always say, and then that's usually not enough to pull you out of bed. A bigger why is usually something like, I want to see my kids have children and be able to play and run with them. That is something that will obviously motivate you for a long-term goal. Now, so my long-term goal when I was 400 pounds, I wanted to become a police officer. And so at that time, when I was starting that process, that is literally what I would tell myself all those times that I want to have a cheat meal. When I wanted to not wake up and work out, I would have to ask myself, does food control my life, or do I control my life in what I want? Now, obviously, you guys may not have a goal that big, but that's the type of thing that kept me going for literally 4 months straight without having a cheat meal, with following basically what Lori just said here. It was every time that I wanted to quit, I was like, well, then that means that I'm not going to wear the badge. That means that I'm not going to have a job that pays me 6 figures with benefits and a retirement. And it was all of those things that was like, no, I would rather work out and lose this weight than keep living my life not having what I want. And for me, that was what I had to sacrifice to reach that goal. So obviously, I know that you guys don't have to lose 400 pounds, but 200 pounds, but here's the thing. Even if your goal is only 20 pounds, the concept is the same. It's the principle. You have to watch the ultra processed foods, because that's usually what is going to keep on the weight, and it's also going to cause your body to develop chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, all those kind of things. So maybe that could be your why. Because even if you may look good, it doesn't matter if your body's not functioning at its peak. If you're still having to go and speak to doctors because you're not feeling well, you have constant headaches, you're always low on energy, you could still quote unquote fit into nice clothes, but that's not the flex anymore. It's about having true health. And so when you guys are going through this, I really want you guys obviously took the time to be here. So there's something that you were wanting to get out of this. And so whether it be changing your habits, I need you guys to really start to think of what is it that's going to make me do this on those days I don't want to. That's the truth. You want to add to that? Because Lori's lost a lot of weight as well.
Yeah, I think we just had this conversation. Everybody's always like, you never cheat or do anything. And I'm like, it's a conscious decision if I'm going to have a cocktail or sweets. It's not a shit day that drove me to do it, which is what made me fat in the first place. So like the emotional eating or the situational, like, oh, I'm a social person and I go out a lot, so I eat a lot. It's no longer the mindset, because I can still go out with friends and do whatever I want, but I don't have to have the fried oysters. I can have the fresh ones on the half shell. I can have grilled chicken instead of chicken strips with ranch. Like, you can still do all the things you love and be in control of your health and your body. And I think that's the food aspect win, is that they always say you can't, get rid of old habits. You have to replace them with better ones. But more than that is just knowing that you're in control of your health again, and your fitness and your body, and however you want to look, you can make it happen or make it not happen, right? It's up to you. But then the physical aspect of it, as like everyone in this room is older than 21 here right now, right? So we're already we hit 30s and women start losing muscle rapidly and all this stuff's happening. And I have a stepdad that I take care of, and he's in a home, and we moved him a little bit closer right outside of Orinda. And for him to get out of bed, to go to the elevator, to go downstairs, to walk to the car, like his body, like he looks like he's going to have a seizure. And so yesterday, after a really hard, exhausting, emotional day, I was like, I'm not working out. And then I asked the coach, ride my ass, told me to go work out, and he didn't. And then Vinny came in, and I was like, I'm going to do high rocks. And I worked out, and I felt great. And it fixed the whole day. And it reminded me, like, Lori, no one's going to come save you and be like, go work out. Or no one's going to make you do it. But the thought of Bill in the home and what he's like now, like, at 73, he's not 80, 90, he's 73. He's been in this shit state for like 5 years, right? Alzheimer's, dementia, obese, diabetic. Diabetic food in a home is like applesauce and bread. They don't get it. So he just gets sicker every day. That's what makes me work out 6 days a week, because you see that firsthand. And we're not even related. I'm not even worried about genetics. If we were, he's my stepdad. But you watch the steady decline. Like, he never has a good day anymore. He never goes in the opposite direction, like he's happy, feeling better, whatever. He just circles the drain. And I think at 49, the thought of wanting to be independent, if I'm going to make it to 90, is the biggest force. My first why was, when I started here 14 years ago, is I have to live for my daughter because I'm divorcing her dad, and I'm 235 pounds on like 5 different prescription meds. And that was enough to get things started. And then when I lost progress during COVID, it was like, you're not getting younger. Like, it doesn't matter what age you are, 20, 40, or 60, like everything you do now affects the next few years. So that's what motivates me from the physical side of it. But also it's nice to be in control of your food and your body, right? Like, no one's going to make me fat, sick, or tired. And it's up to me to make sure that I don't become those things. And that's sort of the relationship I have with food now, instead of a complete emotional and social eater, which was always the way. Like, there's a party, or like, we're going out, there's a concert, da-da-da, and now it's like I still do all the things I love without eating all the things that like trash my health. And that's the difference. You can have fun anywhere, anytime with anyone without the need of like funnel cake like we talked about at Great America. With the kids going to Great America, all the Bay Area people, funnel cakes and what, like those days are gone now. So yeah, so why's big?
Here's the practical side of this. We obviously gave you the piece of paper so you could write down your guys' goal. I don't know what those goals are, but obviously use this time because that's the first step in putting it onto paper. Thinking about it does nothing. Once you actually take the habit of putting it to pen and pad, it starts this process in your mind where you can start truly thinking about it and you begin to give it life. So that's the first practical step. The next thing to do is begin to not think about the hard work, but begin to focus on the benefits of making these changes. What's going to come if you begin to eat right, or if you begin to cut out the ultra processed foods and you begin to take away the sugar and the seed oils? Obviously, yes, you're going to get the normal non-scale victories of looser clothing, feeling more confident in your skin naturally, but you're also going to be getting other things. Clarity in your thinking. Once the ultra processed food is out of your system, you're going to be able to have a mental focus that you may not have felt in a long time if you've been eating ultra processed foods for a while. Not only that, you're going to be able to, I almost lost my train of thought. Not only that, after the mental clarity comes, you're going to be able to see that you're carrying out each task that you said that you would do, which is how you build confidence with yourself. A lot of people forget the way that we lose and build confidence is basically when you tell yourself that you're going to do something and you don't follow through, you're subconsciously consistently lying to yourself. It doesn't matter if it's on a diet. It doesn't matter if it's something at work. Every time that you say, I'm going to do this, and you don't follow through, then you basically have told yourself a lie and you begin to lose trust with yourself. So if you were in a relationship with someone who was constantly lying to you, at some point, even you don't even believe what you say. And so you lose trust in that individual and you lose confidence in that individual. And that's what goes on with us when we always say, I'm going to start on a Monday. I'm going to do this and I'm going to carry it out. I'm going to make it through the whole entire summer. And then a week goes by and you're back out at a restaurant or you're back having a drink. You don't realize that you have literally cast a stone that I don't trust myself. And the only way that you're going to build that trust back and build that confidence back is by following through on what you say that you're going to do. That's why writing it down, that's the first step of I'm going to hold myself accountable. And like Lori said, as much as we wish, none of us are going to be there to smack the food out of your hand in the middle of the night. We're not going to be able to stop this. This has to be something that you muster up within yourself, the discipline to do. And I promise you, as you continue on the path and the new habit gets built, it becomes easier and easier. And then you begin to also realize this wasn't as hard as I thought to begin with. Like, why was I allowing something outside of myself to control me? Why couldn't I say no to reaching and putting something in my mouth? You're an adult. You can stop yourself. It isn't that hard, but it's something that we tend to struggle with. And so, like I said, once you write it down and you say that I'm going to stick with this, plan on carrying it out because you're going to build confidence within yourself and you're going to build trust within yourself. And once that happens, this whole entire process is going to be so much easier and you'll be so much more happy with the person that you've become along the way to reaching the goal. Because obviously the person who starts is not the person who is going to finish. And you want to be proud of yourself. And every day that you keep on going, that's you putting a deposit into the health account. And I'm telling you, it may start slow, but it's one of those things, it begins to compound very, very fast. Not only will you begin to fill the looser clothes, you're going to be able to run more. You're going to be able to sleep better. You're going to be able to walk into a room and people are going to come up to you and see like, what is going on? You are literally going to shine. People do not realize that all of those things start right here with the food that you eat. This is the one thing that you've been doing since you were born. And it's the one thing that you should have under your own control. So if there's something that you guys are trying to do, make sure that you write that goal down, because this is an opportunity to make a change and start getting some huge wins.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the practical application of food. So within, this is what we're supposed to eat, like in what amounts, right? So we're going to list together fats, proteins, and carbs. And I put it in this order because contrary to nonsense beliefs that we've been given our whole life, is that there's nothing essential about a carb. There's no essential carbs. We have essential fatty acids, we have essential amino acids, and carbs are the lie that is built around a food industry that child's brain development needs carbs. We need carbs for energy. The best athletes are fueled by carbs. When you're tired, you need carbs to get through the workday. You don't. Your body was built to really make ketones. Like the ketogenic diet is really where it's at, because what happens is I eat my high fat, moderate protein breakfast. The only carbs I get are whatever's in my half and half in milk that goes in my coffee. I don't even eat vegetables right now. I'm just carnivore right now. So I get my fats and my proteins, have my cappuccino, and then I work out, and I work like 5 hours. And I'm like, wow, it's been like 7 hours and I'm still not hungry. So my body's like, dude, you got fat right here. I don't need you to keep eating all day. So you're satiated, you're full from the fats and the proteins. You have body fat to keep creating energy. So when we think about fats, this is like high fat, moderate protein, and low carbs. What do people battling cancer do? They erase this completely. You see candy in the gym. Like we have people here that beat pancreatic cancer, right? By going ketogenic. So these are the things that we're talking about. So what I want us to do, like interactively, and you can participate or not, don't feel like you have to. I just want to make a list of good fats that we should be having in our diet to help you build an idea of what you can do to construct the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as easy or as complicated as you want to make it. So somebody give me a fat that's good. Avocado. They're delicious. Yes. You know what else is a good provider of fat? Something like a ribeye or the egg with yolk. Remember when they told us not to eat yolks? Oh no. Fats, you get fats from that. What about good oils? Let's list our good oils too. Yeah, avocado oil is good. Olive oil. How about butter and ghee? What else? These are and coconut oil. We use coconut oil. These are, in our home, these are the only oils and fats you'll find, right? Well, I'll tell them the story. So we went to get the stuff for the charcuterie and nuts, and we grabbed Brazil nuts because everyone should know that one Brazil nut a day is all the selenium you need for a healthy thyroid. I was going to throw in that little health tip, and Tim didn't have his glasses. So I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, there's canola oil on these. I've got to go get my $15 back for these nuts that I can't eat. Because you literally put a seed oil on like a lifeline for one nut that's good for your thyroid because it's cheap and easy, and then the salt attaches better to it. So when you're buying even just nuts by themselves to get some fat in, right? Macadamia, whatever, just make sure they're dry roasted, there's no oil, and there can be salt, that's fine, but you don't want them coated in anything because then,
Will have no oil.
yeah, and you really have to be careful with Trader Joe's. They're really sneaky with putting crappy oils on their really healthy nuts, which is crazy. Yeah. So these are great ideas for fats. Yes, they come from all of this. How about proteins? What?
I said, and the olives.
We have it up there.
No, I know. I just mean.
Oh no, the olives were in water. Yeah. I was good. I read it. I sent him to get the nuts and I found the olives. That was my fault. Yeah. Yeah, so at Whole Foods, Emily Kaplan, the co-founder of Metfix and BSI, she has this whole thing where she goes into Whole Foods and she's like, why are all of your oils so crappy on your olives and your peppers and stuff? Like they're bathing in just, well, not only will it destroy your gut, but it'll keep you from being able to feel full. and then it'll keep you from being able to burn fat, right? So seed oil shuts down the whole system. And they're like, because if you use good oils, it like coagulates and it doesn't look as nice as it just being in liquid. So the aesthetic of selling the olives is why they're all crap at Whole Foods when you go to the olive bar. So you have to be careful of that. Yeah.
Question for you. So, I mean, we always obviously hear, seed oils. What's the science behind it that they say it's so bad?
So, yeah.
When we go to a restaurant, we don't know what they cook with.
I know. I always ask them too. Like,
all the time.
It's tough. Yeah. It's many things. The first thing is that it's like an industrial grade oil that actually is better suited for your car. Second thing is that it's super rancid because it goes through so much processing, right? So within that, you have something like our friend Janice, Coach Janice, her family friend is in the oil industry. And he's like, God, canola oil is like something you'd put in an actual vehicle or your lawnmower or something, not your body. So when it gets into the body, what it does from a cellular level is that I've had this, I had grilled chicken from Chick-fil-A with Chick-fil-A sauce that's canola oil. So now I've got seed oils, even though nothing was fried, right? The ways it gets in. So it gets in, and then all of a sudden I'm like, damn, I have a hollow leg today. I can just keep eating and eating. It literally keeps the cell from feeling full and signaling. The brain can no longer signal to the mitochondria like, hey, we're full. The cell is in sources that we've had enough food, shut it down and stop eating, right? There's that marker in a healthy body that lets us stop eating and not eat the whole ribeye that's 20 ounces that's that delicious, right? Our body loses that ability to signal because this is going to be too scientific, but what's going on in the mitochondria, the basis of it is the cell can no longer tell your brain you've had enough. And so then step one is you overeat. Step two, seed oils are horrible in the small intestines in the stomach. So the gut dysbiosis that comes from constantly eating it is awful. Like whether it's parasites or eating lots of processed foods or whatever, to rebuild a gut takes like 90 days. Like you're not only pushing out the glyphosate from the gluten and all the things that you're eating that are sprayed, but you're literally trying to rebuild villi in the small intestine. And these things come in and they're just like a razor blade going through. And it damages the heart too. There's heart damage from it. So these are the problems.
The inflammation, I was going to say.
Oh yeah, inflammation. Like, have you ever eaten something and you kind of feel bloated and you're like, oh God. Then the next day you're like, oh God. Or you go to work out and you're like, oh my, in the joints. It's that systemic inflammation, which starts in the brain. So when you feel it throughout your body, your brain is inflamed too. It's not like it's just the joints. So it's a systemic thing. And that is the problem with seed oils. It's the way they're made. It's what they come from. And it's the fact that they're all pretty rancid too. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I always tell Lori, like, I could tell if I accidentally had some because I literally feel the inflammation. Once you eat very clean for a long period of time, you instantly feel when something's off, and you could feel it like in the muscles. I always feel super tight, and I could just feel my stomach turning over because my body's trying to process it. And obviously, once I'm inflamed, it's not going to do anything else but try to get rid of the inflammation. So I'm not even in the good state that I want to be in metabolically.
Yeah.
And it could be one of those things where, I know seed oils isn't a cupcake, but it's that deeper cause. And that's exactly what we're talking about, of getting under the layer of health is a lot more than just looking good. These are the things that truly start to matter and have an effect on the body.
Yeah. Anyone go out to eat and they jump like 3 pounds overnight, which obviously nobody gained 3 pounds. That's that inflammation too. It's just, and it's so soul crushing when someone's primary goal is to lose weight and they just see the scale like because they haven't quite cut out all the stuff. It's hard to get motivated and stay motivated when you're doing well and then one little meal like changes the tide, but that's how it is. Like when we're trying to roll back dysfunction, we really do have to play it clean. Okay, a moderate amount of protein in the body. What are great protein sources? Chicken, so good. Anybody love fish? Fish is good. What else? Beans? Beans? Yeah, beans have like lentils and different things like that. We could put that down. That falls under 2 things. Yep, Greek yogurt. What is the life hack if you're going to have Greek yogurt? Has to be whole fat, full fat. Don't do the low fat stuff. That's the carb intake, and they usually put other stuff in it. So when you're going to have yogurt, whole fat, full fat. Don't look for the non-fat. You need the fats. And then that protein is also going to help you raise that up too. Non-fat yogurt, well, first it's been processed a lot too, right? They're changing the composition of what came out of the cow. So it becomes a processed milk. And then the fat is taken out. So it's actually a higher carbohydrate to fat ratio. And the protein stays the same. Am I saying this right? Yes. Because Greek yogurt's the higher protein. I don't do a lot of yogurt, so I'm just kind of going off memory. You'll get a good amount of protein. You could add collagen in and even like get a 30-gram protein yogurt. But you want to keep the fat in to keep the body burning fat and the metabolism going, and to make sure you don't have cravings from the carbs that might be put in there too. So don't ever flavor it, and keep the whole fat because you need the fats. Less processed, better for the body, better for everything. Eggs are, again, an inexpensive source of protein. We're not spending, remember when it was like $20 for a dozen of eggs? You're like, I'm going to go steal a chicken out of my neighbor's backyard. I don't even care. So cottage cheese, yeah. Just make it full fat, yeah.
This one might not be everybody's favorite, but pork.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love pork.
And so that's the other thing, guys. Like, this is where people get thrown off, is they see chicken, steak, fish, and they only think that it's one thing. You have to understand. Chicken could be boneless, skinless chicken. Chicken could be chicken thighs. Chicken could be chicken leg quarters. There's multiple options here. So I don't want you guys to just think like chicken breast, all dry, because that's what usually comes to mind when we're talking chicken. The same, people say steak, but I usually like to say beef, because there's all different kinds of ways. You could do carne asada, you could do flank steak, you could do fajitas style.
So
like there's so many different options. And so when we just see, this is us showing you guys, but don't just think, oh, I'm just going to eat a 10-ounce New York steak every night. I have so many different kinds of proteins, oxtails, pot roast, like all these different things are proteins, and that's how you could get that variation that you're possibly looking for. But I don't want you guys to go into old school bodybuilder mindset. I need dry chicken and just broccoli and that's it. Like this could actually taste good.
Yeah, it should taste good. Yes. Oh yeah, bone broth is great. Yep. Oh, my knees are tired from all running yesterday. Bone broth. And then my favorite is the collagen in my cappuccino. That's always my favorite. What was I gonna say? Cheese is also a good fat. I didn't write that down, but like cheese. So breast, chicken breast, okay? Again, high fat, moderate protein, low carbs. So boneless, skinless chicken breasts, sometimes they're a great sale, organic. I'll buy a lot of them. I will season them. I'll put some ghee in the pan. I'll sear them up. And then I'll slice up like Gouda cheese and melt the cheese on top and have cheesy, buttery chicken breasts. High fat, moderate protein, like no carbs, unless I put in some onion and cilantro. You can go crazy.
Yeah, you could.
It should be delicious. Your food should be delicious. That's the other thing. Please stop thinking that in order to be healthy and like roll back disease or build bone density or build muscle that you have to eat like twigs and branches and crap. It's really, this is, if nothing else, let this be the night where you learn that you should really enjoy the taste of the food that you're eating, because eating less carbs doesn't mean eating less flavor, because this is really where the flavor comes from anyways, right? The fats and the proteins.
So,
yeah, it's good stuff. Brokenscience.org, write it down. It's on CrossFit San Ramon and the Metfix website. It's called the Daily Fix, and we integrated it into Wodify too. Every day there's a recipe. I've never made anything on there that I have not loved. We just had crab cakes like a few nights ago, and then crab stuffed avocados. The beef chili is always a hit. All their chicken recipes, Swedish meatballs, like Italian wedding soup even. Like they have everything, and it's free. It's a free resource. So if you're like, I'm really tired of like crock potting the same damn chuck roast every Tuesday for, shredded taco Tuesday, like go online and just look at them. And if you hit archive, you can search like scallops, all the scallop recipes, pork ribs or pork chops or chicken or ground turkey. You could put in the meat that you have available, and it's really simple. It's like maybe 5 minutes of prep and a few minutes of cooking.
And this is Broken Science?
Brokenscience.org, yeah, and it's called the Daily Fix. I swear to God, I live by it, and I love food. I love the taste of food. I would have never been 235 pounds if I didn't love the taste of things. So I love cooking. I love cooking for my family. I love delicious food. I will never go out to a restaurant and waste money on something that's mid. Like, I love the taste of good stuff. And everything off that website is like a 10 out of 10, even with picky kids. So that helps too. All right, let's list all the carbs. What are some good healthy carbs? Let's start with that. Squash? Huh? Yep. How about
How
this?
so?
I just,
Yeah, that's.
you know, I understand calories, I understand, but carbs are everything. I don't get it. It's hard for me. My mind just doesn't understand carbs.
Like, you don't understand
Like,
what?
it's hard for me to, I can tell with some foods that, okay, that's going to have high calorie, that's not.
Okay.
Carbs, I'm completely I have no idea.
So if you're at a restaurant and they bring out.
I mean, I think a potato has high carbs, but
Yeah.
Yes.
that's enough, you know.
So, okay, well, this is exactly why we want to do this, is to figure out the problem that we need to solve with you. This is how we're going to do that.
So we're talking about glycemic load.
Well, yeah, we could talk about that, but let's list out some more carbs.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously, just like Lori said here, these are low carbs. It's squash, the sweet potato, leafy greens, asparagus, broccoli, all of those. It's usually veggies. Those are the best carbs.
These are
Now,
your best. So let's talk about all the carbs.
yeah, so just for you, carbs that I would probably be on the lookout for is going to
Beer has carbs.
yes, beer,
Yeah, it does.
white bread, any bread for that matter, is going to be on our list of things to watch for. Pasta, pizza.
Fried anything.
One of the things that I would point out on carbs
Rice.
Right, good
is
job.
that in the vegetable world, pretty much anything that grows above ground is going to be lower carbohydrate than anything that grows below ground in the vegetable world.
Fruits have less sugar. Don't cook them.
Yeah, so carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes, all these things are going to have higher carb than celery and broccoli and lettuce and things like that. So everything that's growing above ground is going to be lower in carbohydrate and have more.
So let's talk about what happens in the body when we eat certain things. Yes.
So, back in the day, like a couple years ago, I was able to lose a lot of weight. But again, it was a simple science, calorie in versus calorie out. I was on like 800 calorie max diet, and it was so rigid. I feel like with this eating healthy, it's great. Again, it was terrible. I lost a lot of weight, but I was
Because you were in starve mode. Yeah.
constantly starving.
So calories in, calories out is completely wrong because not all calories are created equal, but they had you in starve mode the whole time. Women should never be under 1,200 calories.
I feel like one meal of ketogenic diet, it just brings it over, or at least like 1,200.
Because you're not counting calories, you're looking at what you're eating. It's not how many calories you eat, it's what's making those calories. So here's what I eat every day. And today I weighed 130.5. 3 eggs cooked in ghee. I have a half and half, which is really fat, cappuccino with 1 scoop whole body collagen.
And I'll probably fill a little bit more of what you're asking once she's done talking
Right?
about
So this is like 120, another 50, probably about another 150. Collagen is 20 grams of protein, so 80 calories. Yeah, so let's just say I have a 350 to 400 calorie breakfast. Easily, right? And then I work out and I work all day and I go home and I'll have the big Costco grass-fed burger with cheese. So that's like a solid 500 calories right there.
I honestly have a hard time to like
You have to eat.
understand it.
Yeah.
You can eat and still lose weight. I don't think
Yes.
I can make that.
Go ahead.
So
No,
no,
it's hard
so
'cause the
this
calories in, calories out was like the worst thing ever done to
I get where you're
anybody.
coming from because
Yeah.
I'll be honest. What you're saying was how I lost weight too, but as you just said yourself, it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies. It isn't that, yes, you will get a result. It's almost like getting to a downtown in any town. There's 100 ways to get there, but there's probably one way that is going to be the better way. And so the reason that we give you this formula here is because once you begin to remove the starches and the sugars naturally, your body is going to begin to function how it was meant to function. And once that takes place, you're going to naturally begin to lose weight as a byproduct of eating right. So it may not be an overnight, like I'm sure on that plan, you probably lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And you were like, oh my God. But in the same hand, like you said, it wasn't something that you could sustain and you were like fighting it. And so your body, although you were losing weight, you weren't functioning how you were supposed to. So the mindset with this is, yes, losing weight needs to be looked at as a byproduct of doing this. But what we're trying to teach you here is how to eat healthy for a lifetime. And that's how come the goal has to be very big, because this isn't just a 90-day thing. This isn't so you could fit into a bikini to go to Miami. This is so you could actually live healthy. And so the weight loss doesn't come as fast. But once this is coupled with working out regularly, you are going to begin to just drop it naturally. So I started in 2025, January 1st, of just cutting out all of the processed foods. And I was someone prior to this, I had my own clients counting calories. So I'm not going to lie. That's what I thought worked. And I had to put this to the test myself. And I kid you not, the first month, I probably only lost about 5 pounds. And then out of nowhere, I started feeling so much better. I was able to work out at a much higher, faster pace. I was able to do a whole lot more. And naturally, once my body started to get into what we call like metabolically functioning, right? The weight literally started falling off.
It just falls off.
Clothes started becoming very loose. And so ever since I saw the change, because I had to see it myself, because I was like you, I always thought calories in, calories out, because that was how I originally lost my 200 pounds, by using MyFitnessPal. But I couldn't keep going. I've now followed this plan. It's a year and 6 months, no alcohol, no ultra processed foods. And I kid you not, I eat 2 big, huge chicken leg quarters with skin and butter. I eat asparagus with it. I'll go home and I'll have tri-tip. I'll probably have about 8 or 9 ounces. And then for dinner, I'll do a pot roast and oxtails. And you're like, Ty, how are you eating this much food, but you're still able? And it's because I'm not in metabolic dysfunction.
Yeah.
And so that's what you have to give this one time, because this isn't going to be instant, but this is the one thing that's going to last. Like once it kicks in, it is like a train. It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
What you did was more of like a sprint NASCAR. It's like a vroom, but then it obviously, it just tapered out. So this is a process that you would have to truly trust. And I would say, I want to say lifetime, but I would have to give it 90 days minimum. 90 days minimum for you yourself to be like, this does work.
It does. If it takes 90 days to like, you have to eat.
When you eat healthy like this,
Yeah, I'm never hungry. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm hungry now because I've eaten once all day. And I'm like, damn, I'm getting hungry now because I've had my meal all day and like a cracker. Not a real cracker, but the Parmesan crisp is what I'm trying to say. But
it sounds like keto.
it is keto. High fat, moderate protein, low carb is ketogenic. But it's the focus on what you're eating, because calories in, calories out it's bunk. So here's the deal. If Ty comes up to me and he says, Lori, stop being keto, go back to macro balancing, and I want you to have 55 to 60% carbs and some protein and like 5% fat. First of all, I'm going to be fucking starving all the time because I'm never going to be satiated from the lack of fat, and the carbs never let you close and have enough food at a cellular level. So you're constantly hungry. You burn through the carbs fast and you need more, right? Like when you work out, you're like, I haven't eaten, but you're not metabolically flexible. And then you're like dying in the workout around like 1 minute in because your energy source is depleted because your body's running off the wrong energy source, right? Where the hell was I going with that? I don't know, but, huh?
That was your hamburger.
That was my hamburger by 500 things. But anyways, it is ketogenic. You want to be high fat because your body was built to run off fat. So when I go all day without eating, I'll probably drop another half pound overnight. But if I was at 1,200 calories And I was like, dude, I can have 3 scoops of gelato. I'm still within my carbs, and I'm coming at 1,100 calories. But the thing is,
And that's
I'm
what
insulin
happens.
resistant, or I'm pre-diabetic, or I'm naturally, like, once you've been overweight, your body's like, it's so easy to be overweight. Your body wants to be fat again. It remembers your whole life being fat. So you have to work to stay healthy. So I cannot, in a state of metabolic dysfunction, which is why I tell everyone to check their insulin, because skinny people are insulin resistant too, eat high carb, low fat, and whatever protein to a certain number, because that number means nothing. It's not how many carbs you're eating, it's the type of carbs you're eating, right? It's not how many calories you're eating, it's like how much of it is good fats and proteins, or are you like having half a loaf of sourdough bread with your dinner, right?
And then you're justifying it because it's in the calories.
It's in the calorie zone, yeah. I did like a year of, working against gravity, I think is the name of it, and you have a coach every week. And she never thought that with hormone disruption at this age, or maybe insulin resistance could be the problem. I was at 1,323 calories every fucking day and could just never lose weight because I was having these siete wraps that are gluten-free but full of tapioca and what was the other thing? Cassava. So what is happening to me? I'm not having a wheat tortilla because I'm allergic to gluten, but I'm eating copious amounts of tapioca starch and cassava flour, being gluten-free and staying in my calorie range, and I'm either not losing weight or I'm gaining some back because my body's jacked. It's like, dude, if all you're going to do is feed me carbs, then we're never going to burn that stored body fat because we're spending all of the time managing the glucose in the blood, right? Once you eat carbs, what happens? Blood sugar, right? The glucose rushes in, and then what does your pancreas do? It's like, B cells, here's the insulin. Okay, Lori just had a piece of apple pie. That's wild. And my insulin's like through the roof, and it's just like a crazy mom trying to get everything together for the day. Going crazy trying to manage it. We got to get it out of the blood, Open the cells. Well, I'm insulin resistant, so they like crap all the time. Pancreas is going more insulin in the body, right? And then what happens to everything I eat? It just gets stored in the fat cells or around the organs. Visceral fat, men with the solid stomachs like here, that's why they're so prone to heart attacks and issues, because that fat is in and around the heart, the vital organs, the liver, all of that, fatty liver. So even though I'm eating healthy from a macronutrient perspective, I'm tanking because all I'm doing is driving up more sugar and storing everything as fat, which means all that fat that I started with is going nowhere. I can never get to burning fat when my body is managing glucose the whole day. So that's why,
That's the true downfall.
That's the true downfall, yeah.
That's what causes it. It's the insulin spikes.
It's insulin spikes, right? So then people like have a client. She's done great. Can't lose any weight. I got my blood work back. I'm like, your insulin is 11. You're still insulin resistant. I mean, we brought it down from 24, but I need it under 5. Oh my God, what do I have to give up? And I was like, well, what are you eating that are carbs? Well, I have a little bit of rice here and there. I'm like, you can't have rice anymore. It's done. If you're going to eat rice, just eat a bowl of CNH sugar. It's the same thing. Put on a CGM and eat some rice and it spikes over 200 and you're not even diabetic. Put on a CGM, eat a bowl of sugar and it spikes over 2. It's the same thing. So over in 2 nights of taking out the rice, she's down 1 kilogram, which is 2.2 pounds. So all that bloat and just junk from, but it's only a 1/4 cup of rice or half a slice of bread. It's got to go because it's spiking you up and your number was 11. You're insulin resistant. You're complete metabolic dysfunction. And that's why you can't burn fat anymore. You've literally stalled out because we still have not fixed the root cause. So eating healthy is the equivalent to functional medicine. I can go to Kaiser and they can be like, you're fat, take a GLP-1. Okay. So I take it and then I'm like, oh my God, I have osteoporosis. Cool, take this medication so it doesn't worsen. Okay, and then a month later, yeah, my thyroid has cancer. Oh, it's okay, we'll just remove it and put you on chemo. You never got to the root of the problem. I'm fat and can't lose weight because no one can tell me what to eat and why. And no one can help me create habits to not eat the things that make me overweight or sick or diabetic or whatever. So when you gave me the GLP-1, I was never hungry because the food sat in my gut for 4 days not digesting and I'm vomiting in my mouth. And then because I never got micronutrients because I wasn't getting macronutrients, I have osteoporosis at 49. And then I have thyroid cancer because instead of that being tier level 5 of really obscure side effects, it's like up to 2 now. People on GLP-1s are getting thyroid cancer like it's cool. So that's root healing is like, if you go in with a problem, what's causing it and how do I reverse it? If there's something I need to get out of food that I'm not getting for anything, bone density, I have sarcopenia, I need to build muscle, I'm insulin resistant, I'm diabetic, I'm severely diabetic, I'm a cancer survivor, I have autoimmune disease. We get back to the root of it. And that's what this nutrition is that we're talking about. It's like, it's all you need to know to be healthy, fit, a bodybuilder, whatever it is that you want to do. So that calorie in, calorie out is confusing because they preach that like it's something crazy.
But that's how come this literally, these parts are the biggest key.
Yeah.
The some starch, the little fruit, and the no sugar, because all of that is what addresses the insulin spiking issue. And once you're always in the insulin spike, like Lori said, you end up storing fat. That is the root cause. And the more that you could stop that from rising and that from happening, that's when you will begin to lose the weight that you're wanting to lose, because now your body isn't constantly storing the fat. Yeah. But the only way that you're going to reach that point, like I said, this isn't the race car method. This is going to be a process, and that's what this is how come it may not sell like all these other things, because what you see on social media is do this and you'll lose 20 pounds, which sounds great.
Yeah.
And it's a route. But as you know, we are trying to give you something that you can sustain to not only get you into the clothes you want, but also fix the underlying health problem. That's the true issue. So this is how come this is so imperative. This no sugar, and this is how come if we are running close on time, but literally the breads, the pastas, the pizzas, all of these things, those are the biggest things that cause it. Even when you're at the store and it's those like special carb-free tortillas, those aren't. They're going to cause these exact same issues. They're going to spike the insulin. Yeah. And so we have to control that insulin spike. That is the underlying secret. And then so by you just following this plan alone, it allows you to do that without counting the calories. Yeah. Because we are focusing on something else. We're not just looking at losing weight here. We're looking at building true health. And that's where the mindset needs to shift to. I'm not just losing weight. I am building health.
I'm gaining years to my life. Like that's how you ever think about that? Like I'm not just losing weight, but I'm gaining longevity or being around for grandkids and great grandkids, stuff like that. We'll just throw this question out because I know everybody thinks it. So I have to eat like this forever. I can't have rice again or do whatever. When you are out of metabolic dysfunction, like all your blood work looks good. Cholesterol, you need to watch the cholesterol myth because I'm not going to get into the LDL with no heart thing because LDL is crap, so don't worry about that. And you will see your cholesterol go up when you're ketogenic or carnivore, but you'll also see your triglyceride to HDL ratio be like a solid 1 or less, which is it, right? Check your C-reactive protein for inflammation in the body and know that when you are in a state no longer in metabolic dysfunction, you're metabolically flexible. So your body will take those carbs and use them up and go right back to using fat when it runs out. Versus the person who is dependent on carbs to get up, go to work and work out and then play with the kids. Like they're constantly shoveling in that source of sugar or salty sweet foods for energy. Once it's gone, they're out of energy. But when you're eating like this, your body will always pull fat through fat oxidation, beta oxidation, and make ketones at a cellular level so that your energy never runs out. So Lori, how do you go with one meal all day and a cup of coffee and do advanced class and get through the 2 to 3 workouts and never get tired? Because I never run out of energy. But that being said, if I want to go on a trip next year to Europe, I will have pizza in Naples and it won't kill me because I'm not insulin resistant anymore. I'm not going to be diabetic. I'm not at a cancer risk. My blood work looks great, right? I put in the work so that my body will be able to handle it when the less, amazing thing. I mean, it's crap, but people want a glass of wine once in a while, or they want to go to a concert and have that, right? So do the work to get out of the metabolic dysfunction Make sure all your blood work looks good. You go on the Staiku, you have great muscle mass, right? There's sarcopenia is what we call skinny fat. We have someone that's lean looking, but they have no muscle mass. Like, you're going to need someone to get you up off the toilet when you're like 65 to 70 if you're doing that in your 40s. So get the health built, and then know that once in a while, it's okay, because your body will know how to process it. But that doesn't mean you won't feel like shit from eating shit food, because you will. So, yes.
So, no, I was going to say, yeah, exactly that. You are building, by you following this for basically a long, long period of time, you start to build this huge, huge hedge of health. And I mean, like a big, huge hedge that not much can get through. So like Lori said, in time, you will be able to include these, but still, it's not a weekly thing. Like for me, I may at some point again have some normal food, maybe on like a Christmas Eve event. But it's one of those things too. The other thing that I want you guys, if you choose to follow this, what you will begin to see, if you do fall off the track, you will instantly notice how your body feels. It's not going to feel good, and you should ask yourself in that moment, was feeling how I feel now worth that piece of pie? Was it worth that piece of cake? Is the mental battle that I'm having in my head because I'm mad at myself, coupled with the fact that now I feel like my stomach can't suck in, is it worth it? And I guarantee, if you haven't asked that question, once you begin to ask that question, you will begin to honestly tell yourself, no, it's not. I liked how I felt when I was following what I like to call the system. So really quickly, guys, we're not going to take up your whole entire night, but there is something else in that packet, which is the kitchen audit.
Yes.
And so we want you guys to take a look at the kitchen audit. And so this is literally, once again, another practical step for you guys, for you, Carrie, who said that you're confused about carbs. This should help solve that problem. You should be able to look at this list and see if there's stuff that's on this list. These are the things that I should be watching out for.
Yeah.
Like this.
So everything kind of has carbs, because they're just good carbs at that.
Meats and fats by themselves.
Don't have carbs.
Milk has a little bit. Dairy has a little bit. But as far as like, I don't want to get in.
Obvious,
Yeah.
some of that stuff.
All of this is like a really crappy carb party. But berries and greens do, yes. But the average person on keto gets in like 60 to 70 carbs a day from fruits and vegetables. I actually have a hard time with vegetables because they spray so much shit on them in the field next to my organic farm, and then they spray shit on it at Sprouts, and like I feel it, like my system is so clean. Where we had barbecue and sauce, I was like, oh, it's just meat, and then they tossed the burnt ends in like sauce because I was gonna put sauce in it, and there was oil in it. I was sick for 4 days. I felt like crap. Remember, I was having a hard time in barbell. I'm like, oh, my stomach, and I was like bloated out and hopped like 3 pounds overnight from beef with a little bit of sauce and crappy oil. Like your body feels it, right? Yeah.
So go ahead. No,
please.
You.
Questions for you. One is, does it make a difference if it's raw honey, less processed? I mean, sugar is sugar.
It is. So like Manuka honey, with the health properties, like when you're sick, have some, but you shouldn't be using it all the time, because if you're insulin resistant, it does the same thing. The body does not know the difference between raw honey, Manuka honey, strawberry jam, right? Sugar is sugar. So yeah. Go ahead.
For days that you mentioned, let's say it happens, like I travel a lot for work, I choose to have a cocktail or two, like during the week. What do you usually do to get back on track?
So I pre-game a drink with, we have liver detox packets through Designs for Health. And it's like 3 different types of pills and stuff to just cleanse the liver. And then I have a drink with no sugar. So it's 1 glass of imported red wine from Italy, Spain, France, or Portugal, or I'm not drinking it. Or it's like a Tito's vodka with soda water and lime. Or I have soda water with lime and just pretend I'm tipsy so people stop asking me to drink.
How about tequila?
Tequila's okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Like an agave, yeah, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when you're doing that, though, obviously think about the food that you're eating. Because once you have alcohol, the freaking body stops processing all the food because it knows that it just got poisoned, and it's going to be using everything to get the alcohol out. and the food's just going to be taking
Yeah.
a back seat. So you have to make a cognizant choice of what's this worth right now. That's when I would be playing the mental game of, is it worth having a drink and then watching the food extremely closely, or having my protein nice and high at the start because I know that once I get here, I'm going to have a couple of shots or have a drink. So just think about that, because that's the alcohol. Because the vodka is what, 100 calories a shot, which we know is technically nothing, but if you've had a nice meal with it, that changes everything.
It does. And it takes at least 24 hours for your body to be able to start burning fat again. Like, it just shuts down the system. So the packet of pills before and after a drink are what I do to help myself feel less frustrated that I know I just shut down my fat burning for a day. Help the liver. It's hard. I mean, that's the other thing too. This society that we grew up in and live in, it's always about social events revolving around food and alcohol, to where people make you feel bad and you pretend you're drinking, like me. Like, stop asking me to drink. It's a vodka cranberry or whatever. It's just like soda water. Yeah, so those are good questions. But yeah, if I was going to drink with coworkers, I would have a steak, no potatoes, nothing, just steak, asparagus, or steak and nothing but steak, and then the drink. Yeah, I wouldn't add any carbs or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions before we move on? All right, guys. So what we're going to recommend is obviously use this audit sheet. Take it seriously, and this could be an audit just for when if you don't know. Like, this may just be an eye opener. But look at the list, and obviously, if you do have those items in the pantry, you should begin thinking twice. But prior to starting anything, excuse my language, but this is not something that we want to half-ass. Once we say that we're going to get on this plan, because if you're truly going to see this work, you have to actually follow it, because any falling off basically sets the body back into its old mode, and that's not what we want. So what we're offering right now, since we're wrapped up, if any of you guys are interested, most of you guys know that we have a STIKU. And what the STIKU is, it's a 3D body scan that checks for your body fat, your lean, and your lean muscle mass, visceral fat, inches around the arms, the hips, the thighs, the abs, everything. So we're offering a one-time thing where if you purchase one STIKU scan, in 6 weeks, your second one will be free. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, that's usually a $100 thing. It's only going to be $50. The last thing that we're going to be offering is a 6-week nutritional plan that we're going to be making. Not only is it going to have most of the things that you guys see there of what not to eat, but we're also going to go into some of the deeper whys on how these foods have an effect on the body, because we're obviously running kind of over on time. But what this whole entire packet's going to come with is obviously a plan that you can follow based on what we've taught you here. We're probably going to throw in a few of those amazing MetFix recipes. And not only that, we are also going to give you guys a full rundown of about how the insulin spiking actually takes place and the certain things that you guys should be completely avoiding. This is something that is usually $400, but if you guys are interested, we're going to be doing it for $200, and you can split that up into 2 payments. So if you guys are interested in those, let us know, and we'd love to get you guys signed up.
And then
Workout and nutrition program, or
just nutrition?
Just the nutrition side.
A lot of people want us to just tell them what to eat and break it down for them and follow it. So we do that. And then these are just a few tips. Like, if you leave carbs out at breakfast, you've already started your day burning fat, right? So that's how, what's his name? Remember, we switched his breakfast.
Tyler Donovan.
Tyler lost like 15 pounds. Don't feel like you need to eat meal-specific, typical breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't be like, I'm out of eggs, and what am I going to eat now? And then you just grab like the breakfast sandwich at Starbucks, and then your whole day's down the toilet because you had like a bagel or something. Food prep and eat leftovers. I mean, honestly, on days when we're busy and I'm out of hard-boiled eggs, I'll just grab I'll grill 6 to 8 extra burgers at dinner so that I have them to grab and go, right? Like, make it good for yourself, especially like you're at the hospital working like a long day and commuting. So you taking food with you is a godsend. My client that's a cop, like, he's like, I'm running out of energy mid-shift, da da da. 2 weeks on keto. He's lost 5 pounds that he couldn't lose for last year. And he works his graveyard shift with energy the whole time, can hop out of his car at 4 a.m. and catch a bad guy running. Like, when you do this kind of like lifestyle change and you have the food with you, or on the plane, bag of macadamia nuts, some beef sticks, turkey sticks that are clean, you always have it with you, and then you're less likely to grab the stuff because it was convenient. Because convenience is a huge factor. Like, dude, I get it, especially, and you work from home, right? So you're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
when you said this, it reminds me because I was healthiest when I kind of first came here. My kids were home, and I was cooking,
yeah,
so I had leftovers,
yes,
and that's what I ate. And the doctor had said, you need more, greens and vegetables or whatever. And I said, how? I mean, I eat that stuff all the time. She said, every single thing you eat at your lunch, put it on top of spinach. Just put it on top. So whether it was spaghetti sauce or
yeah,
leftover stuff from,
and you would add it to it, yeah,
put it on top, and I ate that every single day for lunch, at least Monday through Friday.
yeah.
And then they moved out. And
See, it's a cautionary tale to us parents. When your kids move out, you're not going to eat this. Well, but think about this.
cook, I'm just really.
I mean, I do, but it's a burden because, I mean,
But if you cook, if you have to be.
but I also,
All the time.
you can go buy the Mary's Organic Rotisserie Chicken.
Yeah.
That'll carry you through all 5 days of lunches and snacks.
By myself, I last
Yeah. And then go buy a grass-fed chuck roast, or least expensive at Sprouts, and throw it in your crock pot, and you don't even have to be there. And then as long as Tim doesn't come eat half of it like he does at our house. See, that's the thing. I like cooking, but it's hard to keep up with Tim.
Yeah.
He's not paying attention, but he'd laugh.
Yeah,
You'd never know. But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Just always have stuff readily available. And if you want, I have a whole Costco list of pictures of things to buy there that are healthy and ketogenic that you can eat. And if you like the yogurt and stuff, they're A2 whole milk yogurts. It's like $8.99 for 2 big things of them instead of hell of expensive Greek yogurt, and you could put collagen in. Yeah. But just don't add granola and berries and jam to your yogurt, because then you've started your day storing fat instead of burning it. That's the catch, right? It doesn't matter if you don't need to lose any more inches or whatever. You're still damaging the inside. And then you go in for your 60-year checkup, and they're like, you're diabetic. And you're like, how am I diabetic? I've never been pre-diet, because even if it doesn't show externally, what you eat greatly affects the inside. And I see it all the time now. Half of my participants in the MetFix group classes are diabetic or pre-diabetic. And they didn't even know it till I had them get their blood work for the intake. And they're like, holy fuck, how did we get here? And I'm like, you eat your way in to weight issues, metabolic dysfunction, autoimmune disease, all these things, and you have to eat your way out by eating differently. And that's just, but it's delicious and good, and you feel good. Yeah.
Any more questions, guys? Yes, ma'am.
So the nutrition program, it's customized to me.
Yeah. It's different for everyone.
And do you take into account things I like and things I don't like?
Yes. Because some people will come to me and be like, I need to be a vegetarian keto person because of their religion. Then we do that. Or they're like, ever since I got food poisoning from shrimp, I won't eat any seafood. Okay. We can get our omega-3, 6 balance through vitamins and things if we're not getting fish oil in it.
So what happens over the 6-week period?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so what we'd hope is that you're going to take the plan and begin to follow it. Obviously, you're already doing the workout side, but now, like I said, so once you now have your goal, and let's just say that your goal is, I'm going to follow this plan for 6 weeks, come hell or high water. Obviously, what's going to take place is you're going to do your scan, see where you're at. You're going to implement this plan that you have. And then obviously, if you could stick to it, hopefully at the end of the 6 weeks and you do your second scan, you're going to see a major change. But that's what we're hoping that you're going to get out of this. Like, obviously, we're not going to be able to meet with you. Now, we do have an option that we could talk about if you're interested in meeting with a coach weekly to go over how the week's been, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of what you and Vinny do now. But if you wanted to work with a coach, like one-on-one on just the food side, and someone who's holding you accountable every week, like, hey, How was Saturday? How was Sunday?
Yeah.
Where did we fall short? Then you can come and speak with us because we do offer that as well. But this plan is supposed to be basically your treasure map to this new place in 6 weeks. That's how you should look at it.
Do you get carbs better now? Is it better understanding? It's not how
Does
many.
yogurt have carbs?
I have a little bit from especially if it's non-fat, it'll be higher. And the ratio of fat to protein and carbs will be off a bit, but you're fine.
What else do you want to know about carbs? Well,
That's a good one. Remember what was my video? I just did one on that. They're not all created equal.
Yeah.
So I found a really good just pure whey one at Sprouts. It's clean. I like that. I do Designs for Health paleo protein shakes because they also have detoxification stuff to help the body push out what it doesn't need while building it up with the protein. They're my last resort. I cannot drink. I don't use them as meals. I use them as collagen and coffee, or I'm just never going to have enough time to eat today and grab it on the go. Especially at work, if you need more energy, add fat to it. Blend up your protein shake with avocado, right? Put an avocado. Don't put it in the banana. Have whole milk, water, protein, and then avocado, and get that good high-fat, moderate protein. Be satiated, feel full, and have just like endless energy from that. That's when they're really best. But generally, the cheap ones in the big tubs at Costco have a lot of things you can't pronounce, and you're like, what the hell is this? If you can't say what's on it and even try to sound it out, then don't drink that protein shake. It's just a lot of like synthetic man-made crap or fillers or guar gum or xanthan gum and thickeners, which destroy gut health. So just keep it clean. Yeah.
any other questions?
Yeah. So you're going to go back to just maybe making a big batch of like bolognese sauce and putting it on your spinach?
I'm pretty good with the crock pot. You know,
Great.
chicken in there, but I haven't been good for a few years now, so I need to start.
Crock pots are great. Instant pots are great.
That's the best. Like I do a lot of the crock pot stuff. Like I said, I like the pot roast and oxtails. And then what I usually do is chicken thighs with butter and some garlic and just season well. And I'll do a whole entire batch in the oven, and I could just portion those out over the whole week. And I'm happy with that. It always tastes good. I usually warm it up in the air fryer and not the microwave, so it has a nice crisp to it when it comes out. Obviously, when I have to travel, I'm the weird guy who I will bring the food with me, but I would rather be the one who's eating the real food, and everyone's like, well, this is why I look this way, because I'm willing to make that sacrifice. And so obviously, I'm not telling you guys to do that, but what Lori said with the meal prep, when it's on hand, it makes those choices a whole lot easier. Because if you're constantly having to battle with yourself with the mental mindset to, now I have to cook this, now I have to wait here, now I have to do this, then it become more of just a chore, as opposed to, nope, I've cut out this time, I have tri-tip here, I have chicken here, I could grab and go as I please. If I need a snack, I will literally go in the fridge, and I usually do about 2 tri-tips a week, and they're nice and sliced up. I'll take them out. It's a good snack, and I'm full. So it just makes the whole entire mental process of it easier. We also, we know people who also meal prep that we could put you guys in touch with if that be something that you're interested in, but we could talk about that too.
Yeah, let us know. And if you want the list at Costco of things to buy, even if you're just cooking for yourself, right? Or Brian, if you're feeding him too, there's so many pre-made things that are grass-fed, organic, and clean and not added crap that you can go get the sous vide sirloin. And people love it cold. You can get the wild smoked salmon, take a piece of seaweed, the ones made with olive oil, not bad oils, and wrap it up with some cream cheese and onion and some capers or whatever, and have like a salmon wrap in the rice. There's so many life hacks to have delicious food that are fast for you or that are already pre-made, and you just kind of like throw it on a piece of seaweed or whatever. And then you're like, oh my God, this is really good. And have a ton of energy, and I'm not crashing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I didn't have to spend 4 days cooking, right? I love the Costco list.
Having the prep just makes it easier to make smart choice.
Yeah, and like I said, yes, it's going to take discipline, but you should come to terms with that. Like I said, that's why you need to figure out your why. If you don't have a big why, this is all going to be, you won't make it. That's the truth. I'm not going to lie to you guys. You need to have a reason that's going to get you to follow this plan, whether it be improving your health, whether it be some long-term goal that you have in the future, whatever it is, it needs to be something that you know it's going to wake you up. It needs to be what we call a C-type goal, something so big that you just thinking about it keeps you motivated all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's the true only way. Until you could wrap your mind around it, this will always seem like an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're reaching to this higher point, it's always going to be worth the climb. But you have to, it can't just be for short-term gain, because we all know it never lasts.
Yeah.
It has to be big. So really think about that. Really think about, why do I really want to get healthy? What are the benefits of this? How will this change my life? That's what you have to really, truly think about.
And normalize healthy food being normal food. I always say, like you said, I might try something normal like Christmas. I'm like, no, that's the abnormal stuff. But that's axiomatic. It just comes out because people look at you like, why are you eating the steak with butter and arugula at Revel? It's fucking delicious. I think about going there all the time for that. Like, it's amazing. And then they're just like shoveling it, and then they're unbuttoning their pants and everything's falling apart. And you're like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Honestly, I can go to Tony's Pizzeria in North Beach and have his giant meatball. It's labeled gluten-free. It's like pork, beef, and veal. And you pick the sauce, completely ketogenic. I don't feel like crap. I don't hurt the next day. I'm not unbuttoning my pants as I walk back to my car. Like that, it's just such a better way of living. So just normalize healthy food as being what we need, because then it's like I'm fueling my body today, right? I don't drive around looking for the most delicious gas station to put gas in my car. It just wants the unleaded at Costco or anywhere, right? And your body just wants the fat for fuel and the protein, and go easy on the carbs. That's all.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Thank you so much. So if you guys are interested in what we talked about, you can come and speak with any of us, grab some more food.
Please
Thank
do.
you for taking time out of your day. We hope that we added some value.
Yeah.
So
Thank
much,
you.
guys. It's
Thank
really
you.
helpful.
Good.
Thank you very much.
I know. I'm like.